Well, Sergey, what we've got at the moment is a huge concentration of assets, the sort of things that will be required both to look for Titan, but also to get it off the bottom if they actually find it within the timescale. And I think what people are doing is they're trying to get as much there as soon as they can to show they're doing as much as they can, just in case it pops up. If we look at the area more closely, as we've seen, these ships are coming from every direction, though, mostly from the north. But you've got these specialist seabed operations and recovery vessels all circling the wreck of the Titanic now. They're using underwater vehicles with side-scan sonars. They're using active sonar buoys from the air to actually look for and classify what might be Titan. And coming down from the north, from this morning onwards, are what I think are the game changers. You've got a situation where these vessels are coming down, possibly bringing the US Navy's deep salvage equipment. Mm-hmm. That's the form of an unmanned vehicle that can go down to 20,000 feet. It's tethered, and also a salvage system that can bring up anything up to 60,000 pounds from the seabed. And they actually did that successfully with a Seahawk helicopter in the Philippine Sea in 2021. So it's proven technology. They've done it. So if they find Titan, they have now got the means to bring it to the surface. And that's what we've lacked up until now. Yeah,
the priority has been getting everything there. So when there's information to go on, they can mount the next stage of this
Absolutely
rescue
right.
operation. Let's talk about the sounds that have been detected. And you talk about, all the vessels on the sea looking for the submersible, but it's also being looked for by air. And it was an aircraft that detected these banging sounds, they've been called. Now, the hope is, that it is the submersible, people inside banging SOS messages or whatever. But it's unlikely to be that, in your opinion, such as the sort of debris where they might be. It could be anything.
I have to say, I think this is trying to keep morale up and maintain urgency. It would have been detected on a sonar buoy, I suspect, dropped by a Canadian maritime patrol aircraft. And certainly you can determine from the frequency difference between various things in the ocean. But let's have a look at what's going on here. You've got a deteriorating and decaying wreck. There's a lot of things banging around inside Titanic at the moment. If you put your head in the water right now, you'd hear all sorts of mechanical noises. And I'm afraid to say, I think they've got that mixed up. If they were really certain, they'd be zeroing in now and trying to find out where it's coming from. And let's have a look at this. This is a carbon fibre hull. Are you going to take a hammer from the inside and bang on the hull? No, you're not, because it's going to weaken the hull. And of course, it'll speed your end if you're not careful. So I'm very sceptical. And what we really need to do is concentrate on where it's likely to be. And you start where it was going. It was going to Titanic. It's had problems in the past where they've continued with the mission. So the likelihood is it's near Titanic, and you do an expanding circle search out from there. So let's not get distracted by things that are most unlikely.
Chris, you put it really well earlier in terms of, if you're going down to the Titanic, everything needs to go right, and every trip down there, you've got away with it if you come back to the surface. Something has clearly gone wrong here, and big questions are being asked about the safety of not just this kind of this submersible, but other kinds that make these kind of trips for tourist reasons, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's a question of risk and reward, isn't it? But just let's have a look at what the company says. Look, bringing an outside entity, in other words, regulators or people who might actually criticise what we're doing, up to speed on every innovation before it's put into real-world testing, which means we take it down to Titanic, is anathema to rapid innovation. So we don't care about safety. We just want to get technology in. We're going to use the stuff. And frankly, we don't care what people think about it.